Shanti. Shivaya, Sadhuvan, and Sanat Kumara explained Devrishi when he was talking about all elements, how the universe is created, how the universe appears to a Jivatma, how a gradual transcendence takes place into Sukshma Rupa, into Sukshmata from Stulata, grows to the subtle. Everything, one has to be very careful to understand how these manifestations have been done from subtle to gross, and how the reverse process takes place. A great difference is there when something decided to transcend from Sukshmata to Sthulata. There was a lot of uninterrupted knowledge in him, through which one could expand, experience the Stulata step by step. But it's a very difficult process after having reached the ultimate of the Stulata. To return back to Sukshma, those knowledges which were there in the Sukshma is not available in the Sthula. They have to be acquired by the gross body, and then gradually one has to travel towards the Sukshmata. It's the difficult process, is why that we could not, as soon as we understood, oh, we have come from that Sukshma, let's go back. In a fraction of a second, like Devatas, who could transform themselves into Sharira or in any shapes and forms or in any other Rupa, they appear. Like Bhagavan, Brahman appears in the form of Jnanam. Brahman appears in the form of music. Brahman appears in the form of climate. Brahman appears in the form of breeze. Brahman appears in the form of everything. They could see how he could do this, because from Sukshmata to Stulata, the great knowledge preserved inside is available immediately to do that. And they, being transcended souls, transcended, I don't know whether it is objects, subjects, I don't know how to address that. The one which is transcended could easily be in any position at any point of time. But one who has intentionally and gradually, systematically grown towards the Sukshmata, have gradually lost the position of the Sukshmata. In each step he grew towards the Stulata. I don't know whether you are able to see it or not. It is like an infant when he is born. He has all the survival instincts in him. He left that infancy to childhood, childhood to yavana, yavana to vardhakya, vardhakya to the status when it has come. He doesn't have that capacity of survival instinct there. See? Going back to Sushmata is not possible because when he grew up, he left the childhood. He left the yavana. He left the, like that. He did not take it along with it. It's not possible. Because in Stulata, unless he leaves one position, Stulata cannot be attained. Unless one leaves the previous position, the other grosser position cannot be attained. But after having grown to the grosser, it is acquiring the previous position. Is that what is required? In the other way, leaving the previous position. Leaving the house is easy. Coming back to the house is difficult. It's not. Leaving one position is easy. Coming back to the same position is difficult. Leaving the yesterday, leaving the moment before just now, leaving the hour before just now was easy, even though we think it is intentionally done. But it is done very easily. But we can never go back to that hour, that minute, that day which we have left behind. Can you go back? We can. This is called going back into Sukshmata. In normal conditions, it is not possible. A Tapasvi, Maharshi, Tapasvi, Jnani, Devatas in us. When we evoke those Devatas in us, we are in a good position to go back and forth. There is no question of the back there and the forth there, because the one who projects from Sukshmata to Stulata, he is only projecting the Stulata, retaining in the Sukshmata. But one who is in the Stulata, established in the Stulata, cannot project Sukshmata. You can break a capsule and reveal whatever is inside. You cannot put them back into the capsule. Is it not? It's not possible. Same way, something, these are all similes, these are all examples I am giving so that a normal mind can understand. That is why it is very difficult. Having acquired this Sthula Sharira, Sthula Mana, Sthulata in Jnanam, the Jnanam today, what we understand, what we think, what we are boasting, that I know everything, is only the most Sthula Bhava. From there towards the absolute Jnanam, going back, is the Sukshma Bhava. In the Sukshma Bhava, the knowing is not there. When there is only knowledge, the knowing is not there. When the knowing, experiencing is not taking place, one will not say, I know it, I knew it, I am knowing it, I will know it. These words will not come unless one is experiencing it. If that experiencing is not at all there, only the knowledge is there, that's all. When you got wet in the rain, you know before getting wet, this is the thing. While getting wet, this is getting wet. After getting it, what is after getting wet? And after getting wet, drying. All these positions you know only when you are undergoing the process of getting wet in the rain. Are you getting it? If you are not getting wet in the rain, the position previous to wetting cannot be understood. After getting wet, then only you know that you had been getting wet. After drying, you knew that you were wet. Why? When you were wet, you had a desire to get dried. That desire drove you towards the dryness. When you got dried, now you cannot experience the wet. You can only understand the wet. Because having experienced it, you understood it. So what happened? From one status to another status. That means not one status to another status. From the Sukshma to Sthula, when you travel and when you have attained the Sthula, the experiencing, so long it is there, then only we can say that we understand it. But from Sthula to traveling back to Sukshma is difficult. You cannot get wet after drying. You cannot have the experience of wetness after drying. But who is a jnani? Who is a tattva-jnani? Who is projecting the dryness when he is wet? He can experience both wet and dry. Is the tattva, is the principle. This is not possible for a sthula sharira. It is not possible sitting in the absolute sthulata. This is the ultimate sthulata. It has come to the gross body, which is absolutely, has come to the matter, which is going to be, the next stage is only dead, that's all, death. At this condition, going back to Sukshmata, for Sthulata, it is difficult. For a Sukshmata, traveling towards Sthulata is easy. River can flow from mountain down, but the river cannot go back to the mountain. Even though it is flowing from there. Astitva is that. You can always say that I have come from there, but I cannot go there. Because the flow is always towards the Sthulata. If there is a process that it can reverse the Sthulata into Sukshmata, then only it can go. So if the river decides it should be able to go back to its position, is called the capacity of transcendence. After having acquired the Sthulata in Sharira, you should be able to go back to its own astitva, its own sustenance, its own original position, is called the capability of transcendence going back. The whole process of this Upanishad Chandogya is explaining about going back, making you aware how you have become the Sthula from Sukshma. How you have become the Vibhuti, and from that Vibhuti, how to go back. After having become the ash, how to go back to its own origin. That's what we are doing. It's not easy. An ash cannot do anything except helplessly lying down there. That's all. Because it has come to an ultimate Sthula Bhava, which has no inherent capabilities of transcendence. But before that, it could come to ashes very easily, because all the capabilities were there in the Sukshma Bhava. That's why it is known as transcendence. Transcendence is that ascending, transforming into ascending order is transcendence. Transforming into ascending order Transforming into descending order, is that what we are doing? Is by transcendence. Transforming into the ascending order. Going back to the position from where you have come. Then why we are not able to do even like that? Because when you came to Sthula Bhava, you left the previous Sukshma Bhava. Before coming to that Bhava, you left the Sukshma Bhava before that. You have renounced it. Because unless you renounce that Sukshma Bhava, you cannot attain the Sthula Bhava. Your travel was towards the Sthula Bhava. You did not realize that you have to retain that Sukshma Bhava in order to come back to its own position. You left it. Unless I leave one place, I cannot reach another place. I have to leave that place and then I have to reach another place. Without leaving the place, reaching another place is called the capability of being in Sukshma and experiencing this Sthula is what's called the Devatas in you. This is the capacity a tapasvi, a jnani, a guru, a great knowledgeable person, a great brahmajnani has. He being in one position, he can be in all positions. Because that position he is holding is the gist of all positions. And he can experience, he can see all that. But in normal life, what happens? We experience all from transcend, traveling from Sukshma to Sthula, all experiences are experiencing. If those experiences are in the true, channelized, right manner, then going back into Sukshmata would be easy. Now what happened was, it was in a haphazard way. Whatever came across, Sukshma Bhava acquired to experience the Sthula Bhava. Not as it has been designed. When you were born, it was told to you, or you know it exactly, in which way you have to live this particular Janma. You knew it. You disobeyed the instructions. You intentionally disobeyed, and the disobedience has come because of the attractions and attachments around you, Maya. You got attracted towards it, so automatically the decisions that was made for traveling has been forgotten. Like going into a maze. Went on walking the way that was there in front of you, without planning which way you have to walk. It is lying in dark gullies, lanes, without knowing where to reach. Just walked along the lanes, whichever came in front of you. Where a junction came, left, right, forward, front and back. Depending upon your attraction, you decided the direction of left, right and forward. Not according to the necessity of yours. Depending upon the pleasure of yours, you chose the path. One path found to be beautiful and nice, another path to be something else, another path to be something else. Out of them, whichever was appealing to you, to your mind at that point of time, and where you thought it will be the most pleasurable path to be acquiring, because without knowing, standing in the junction, even if you knew it, your mind got attracted to that path. Why not I travel in that path instead of walking in that difficult path? You chose that. Is why I said that. You disobeyed. Had you stopped at the junction and then went back to your Sukshma Bhava, before entering into the next Sthula Bhava, had you stopped at the junction and remembered your Sthula Bhava, Sukshma Bhava from there, you would know that where you were supposed to go. We didn't stop. We didn't stop. We didn't have patience. We didn't have kshama. We didn't have initiative. We didn't have belief, faith in that what was existing. So you wanted to experiment it. Experiment it means you wanted to experience it. That's why I said it is experimental experience without knowing the result. An experimental experience you took, saying that I will attain Sukshmata, walking through this Sthula experience, you chose disobediently that path. But some obediently chose the path. He attained the Sukshmata from where he is supposed to go, and he is supposed to go back. He knew the way. He experienced it. The way he has to experience it, he experienced it, and he went back to Sukshmata. You were supposed to experience in a particular path. Instead, you got attracted to another path and traveled towards that path, thinking that you will attain this path at any point of time. After all, I know it from why I have turned. After distance, you found number of junctions. Now you did not know from which junction I took the left turn, I took the right turn, which junction I took a decision to go this way. From which junction I am supposed to go back to that, which direction I am supposed to go back. I lost the way. I lost my childhood. I lost before the childhood. I lost the path before the childhood. Then from there, I lost the previous status. Are you getting what I am trying to tell? How you lost it? The ascending order, if you know how to ascend, then only you can ascend. It's not easy. Descending is easy. Towards the Sthula Bhava, it is easy. It's why I'm just giving you the background. Why people, or why we are unable to, at a point of time we understood the life is so difficult, everything is a problem. This is not the truth, that is the truth. The Upanishad has told, I have faith in Upanishad, and what Upanishad says is right, but I am unable to go. Why? Because when you took a left turn and got into many junctions and reached at a point of time, you were told, you go back to that position from where you have taken the wrong path. This is Upanishad. how to go back to that position from where I have taken the wrong path. Now can you think from where did you take the wrong path? You would be able to do it. That is why Upanishad is teaching us this path. So you had been traveling, now we have been traveling towards the sthulata. That's what he was explaining. That's why from now we are going back to Suchmata. Tough. I do not even know one step before this. Forget about hundreds of steps I have left behind. The one step before this, I fumble, I struggle. Is why I am not able to go back to Suchmata. Like in a telescopic instrument, pulling it out is very easy. Pushing it inside, how does it go? The last part of the telescopic instrument should go first to the second part. Second part goes to the third part. Third part goes one by one. No? Now you have to know this previous path where to go in. So I have to what to do? I have to give a push. No? Which direction? How much strength I have to use? Which direction I have to push? Should I push it towards the left so that it will go in? Or should I push it towards the right to go in? Or up? Or down? No. Then he said, stop. Now to go back, what should you do first? First you have to stop. You are not ready to stop even. You keep on walking and say that I want to go back. To pulling it, stop. After stopping, then you have to use the strength to push it back. Then it will go to the previous position. Then again push it, goes to further previous position. I am not ready. I want to keep on walking, but I want to attain transcendence. Is the status of human being, is why they are unable to even know even one previous step. Why am I born in this Janma should be known first before going back to inception of my Janma. You're not prepared, because everything you wanted here. So Upanishad says about all this, how you have come, what you are, what are the Panchabhutas, what are this, what are this, what are this, making you understand so that at least you will stop all this process to stop. Once you stop and take a decision to transcend, it's easy. The stopping is difficult. No, you don't want to stop, you want to continue the experiencing in the wrong way. Unless you stop this experiencing, you cannot go back into the Suchmata, you cannot go into the capsule. Because the moment you come out of the capsule, you expand for the experience. When you are experiencing, you expand. The moment you have expanded, the capsule becomes too small to accommodate you. So in order to you to be accommodated in the same capsule where you have come from, that whatever you have acquired after coming out of capsule has to be Renounced, very simple. Then only this is possible. That's why tapasya, samarpanam. Samarpanam is stopping. What is samarpanam? Everything I leave it here now so that I am not able to walk further. Samarpanam. Stopping. Gaining strength, upasana. Pushing, nididhyasana. Once you are pushed, you are not there, the Guru is there. And he carries you back towards it. The transcendence towards the ascending order begins, where the renunciation takes place. Renounce all the experience that you have acquired, that you are swelled up with this. The swelling has to be renounced. Go back to its own original position. Unless that is done, whatever amount of understanding, whatever amount of learning, whatever amount of experiencing will not have any effect, and it will not make any difference for the purpose of transcending. It will be as good as standing at the same position in zero. Right? If the cycle is jacked up and you stand there, there are exercises for people where they don't have space. They put up a cycle inside the house, jacked up, and keep on cycling, or cycling without a wheel. You will be keeping on cycling, but you will be in the same position. It is like that. So Bhagavan said, I'm just giving you, I thought I must tell you why. Some people ask, or some people think, even some people ask, why should there be so many documents? Why are there so many scriptures? Why are there so much of you are talking about it even? It is not written there, then also you are talking about it. Why are you talking unnecessarily? Wasting your energy. None of this will help. Learning it, helping it, listening to it, nothing will help. Unless one thing. I know it is not possible for you to transcend. Somebody calls you when you are walking, somebody calls you, hey, from the back. What do you do? You have to stop at least, turn back and look. But some keep on walking and look back. Not some. All. The first thing. All this, why these are all these paraphernalias are being done? Calling you back. Calling you from the back. What I am doing? Stop. Calling you back to make you stop. Yes, if you stop. After you stop, then I can say you come. Because I have traveled all that path. Come back to me. So some stop, some don't stop at all, turn back and say that, no, you are too far away from me, I have to go forward. So they walk away. Some after stopping and seeing that all the way, go back. No, I will not go back. Okay, where you are, you be there. I am there, I am there. That's another second category. Third category stops and thinks, calling back, should I go back or not? Sitting in the fence. Third category. The fourth category decides to go back. Still with a doubt. So, let me try. So slowly walk, so that at least that much, if I walk very fast, then if I have to come back, that much have to be covered back again. So let me try step by step. So one goes very slowly, is the fourth category. Is it fourth? Yes. Fifth category decides to go back fast. That's all. And he reaches there in time. Once he reaches there in time from where I have called him, then I said, come, let's go fast now. You attain the momentum of walking towards me. Let's go back. Is how towards the Suchmata one has to transcend. Are you getting generally? I am just giving you all sorts of living examples and wild experiences. Through drawing an inference from this, you should be in a position to understand how to go back to our own reality, to our own inception, to the truth. How we are manifested towards traveling towards the disobeyed path. You must understand that you are walking through a disobedient path. That's very sure. It was not the instruction that was given to you to walk through. Many of the experiences, or most of the experiences, you are unnecessarily acquiring them. The experiences that is necessary to be acquired is not being acquired. If you acquire them, then it is possible. And in order to acquire them, you have to stop samarpanam and continue. Okay, this is the gist of transcending. If you remember these principles, I think, so yogis only, they explain these principles. And yogis only, they practice this experience. At least if you can conceive them in the right manner, it's great. So in previous chapter, Bhagavan explained that during the pralaya, the dissolution of the universe at the end, the whole world is supposed to get absorbed into the space. Suchma Bhava. Even though the world looks so big, but the whole world is absorbed into the space. Earth gets dissolved in water, water gets dried up by fire, fire gets extinguished by air. The one element we have not crossed through is Vayu. Why? Because it has not been specifically taken or separately taken. Why? Because Vayu is a part of Agni. Vayu comes from Agni Because whenever there is heat generated, what happens? Jalam comes out of it. Whenever the jalam comes on one side, in order to make the jalam to come out of the fire, there Vayu is necessary, air is necessary. What is that agent who pushes it out, separates it out? It's Vayu. That is why there is Vayu in the air, in the jalam. And there is Vayu in the Agni also. So when there is a fire, it is the air that makes the fire burn. Is it not? Vayu helps the Agni Tattva burn as fire. Agni Tattva is different. Fire is different. From the Agni Tattva, in order to create a fire, it is the air which blows to the Agni Tattva. Agni Tattva converts into the Agni and burns with a fuel that is necessary. Agni doesn't burn just like that. No, it's not possible. So what happened? There has to be an object, an indhana that is necessary, a medium to burn is necessary. If there is something to be burnt, then only the Vayu comes in picture. That's why it has not been. It is highly supportive nature. It has got the support. It's not an independent nature, supportive nature. So if there is an indhana, the indhana to be burnt, Vayu blows to the Agni Tattva, evokes the Agni from the Agni Tattva and helps the object to burn is Vayu's activity. Vayu also in a stronger form puts off the flame. When the intensity of Vayu, from where the Vayu has come? Vayu has come from the Agni Tattva. Again, when the Agni Tattva has produced enormous amount of Vayu, expanding the area of volume of the Vayu, that Vayu can put the flame off, which is creating. So, to create the flame Agni, to put off the Agni, both Vayu is necessary. To be Jalam as Jalam, Vayu is necessary. Otherwise, Jala will not be Jalam. There will not be oxygen in that. Life form will not be there. Since the oxygen is there or the Vayu is there in the Jalam, is why the Jivatmas can survive or be born in Jalam by Jalam. That's the Jalam. In every Jala, particle of the Jala Tattvam, there is Vayu Tattva. We have explained this long back. In every Tattva, 1/8 of the Tattva is that other Tattvas, and the rest of the Tattva is that particular Tattva. So, in Jala Tattva, 1/8 of Agni Tattva, 1/8 of Vayu Tattva, 1/8 of Prithvi Tattva. This has been, I think, explained about years ago, 20 years ago, if I remember correct. Right? That is called Tattva. So the Vayu Tattva is the one which is inherent. Everything is inherent. The Jiva is coming out of Jalam because of the Vayu Tattva. The Jiva is there, the Vayu is there, Jala is there because of the Vayu. And the Jivatma comes in the Jala because the Vayu is there. Otherwise, Jala Tattva alone cannot produce it. And the Jala Tattva comes from the Agni Tattva. So, from the Agni Tattva, Jala has come. For in the Jala, since Vayu is there, the Vayu has helped. Agni has helped to bring the Jiva in Jala through the supporting nature of the Vayu is how where Jivatma's Utpannam has been created. Jivatma's creation, Jivatma's Avirbhava, Jivatma's appearance has been done. It's based on these tattvas. But that all that is necessary, yes. Then slowly while growing, each tattva took over and gradually made up that. Is why Vayu tattva, Vayu is identified as Shakti, Pavan. Is why Hanuman is known as Pavan Putra. The speed, fastness. The fastness to create, to destroy. Pavan Putra is, Pavana is the one which creates, Pavana is the one which destroys also. You see, that's the one which has got the capacity of both. Same way, all tattvas. Agni is also like that. Can create, can also destroy. Pavana is also can create, can destroy. It helps to burn, it helps to grow, it also helps to distinguish everything. So why tattva is inherent in among all this tattva is why it is not separately taken and have been experienced. So Bhagavan says that this is how the why tattva has been also been created in the space. Had the space been not there, from the Jala, from the Agni tattva, Vayu could not have expanded itself. For the Vayu to expand and be available in that intensity, the space is necessary. So the space contains that also. So the Jala tattva into Vayu tattva into, or Jala and Vayu together into Agni tattva into the Akasha tattva has been converged. That's why Upanishad have taken an example of the tortoise in an extensive way. Like Indriyas being drawn into whenever it is not necessary has been explained by Bhagavad Gita explained. It's an Upanishad. All the Upanishad explains. Ishavasya Upanishad explains. Other Upanishads explain about that. That they, I am thinking what is it? Tortoise is cute. What do you call it? Kurma avatar. Kurma, the name itself is Kurma. You know Kurma? What is Kurma? Kurma is the tip of that point which is very sharp. It's Kurma. It's the meaning of Kurma. So Kurma is that. So this withdraws. So it has got the same way. As I told you, man should have the capacity to withdraw itself into that same way. Well, that's an example. So going here, I am explaining about the drawing into the, converging into the Sukshmata is what we are talking about. Diverging into the Stholata has been taken place. Now how to converge into Sukshmata is being explained by Upanishad to us very, very seriously. Unless this is experienced, the one who is sitting with the Sthola Sharira thinking that this is everything can never understand the convergence into the Sukshmata. It's not possible. So stop thinking that this is the ultimate power. We have to go back. So the space, so the fire gets into the fire, the air gets into the fire, fire gets extinguished by the air, and the air is absorbed into the space again. If the space is not there, it cannot expand, it cannot blow. If it doesn't blow, we don't call it as a breeze. We don't call it as air. What do we say? If the leaves are not moving, we say it is stand still. There is no air. There is no breeze. Air is there. Only thing it is not blowing. Why? Because sufficient Agni Tattva is not there for it to expand. The process of expanding is called blowing. When it is expanding, what happens? It occupies more and more of space, so we think it is blowing. What is it doing? It is expanding. More Agni Tattva is necessary. When it converges into it, what happens? Nothing can be done. It cannot blow. The space has to be created. From where the space can be created? Again, Agni Tattva is necessary in order to create the space. Or utilize the space. I won't call it as creation. Nothing is a creation. Even though I am using many places, you might find, by practice or by our understanding, I use the word, or there is no equivalent word. I use creation. Nothing is it a creation of air? Is it a creation of Agni? Is it a creation of Jala? No, it's all there. It appears, now the right word is that the Jala appears from Agni. Agni appears from space. Vayu appears from Jala, Agni. Should be the right word, but sometimes I might have used the word creation. Creation. In fact, there is no meaning to creation. Unless there is a creator, how can there be a creation? Srishti. If there is no Srishta, how can there be a Srishti? In case of Jala, Srishta is Agni. And in case of Agni, Srishta is Akasha. In case of Akasha, it is something else. Who is a Srishta? Who is a Srishtikarta? So what is a Srishti? So Srishti is a word to make us understand. Creation. It has an action in it. It's a karma in it. To create. When there is creation, it's a noun. So there has to be a verb there, creating. If there is a creating, there has to be to create somebody, some cause should be there. This is an effect. If we are calling it as an effect, creation is an effect. There has to be a cause. Who is the cause and what is the cause? But Upanishadically, Vedically, when you analyze it, it happens. Water boils, it becomes steam. Water is kept in 0 degrees centigrade and below, it is frozen. Who freezes it? Who evaporates it? One side we can say Agni Tattva is evaporating it, and Agni Tattva is cooling it also. It's a temperature which cools. It's a temperature which evaporates. So is the Agni the Srishtikarta of the steam and the ice? No. Why? Unless there is water, he cannot, neither can steam nor can freeze. Where the water has come then? From Agni Tattva. It's confusing, no? Who is a creator? It happens. From Agni Tattva, Jala Tattva has happened. Jala Tattva evaporated in a particular kind of Agni Tattva. In a particular kind of Agni Tattva, it got frozen. It's all happened. It's only a transition of the same thing in different shapes and forms, depending upon the intensity of the friction, temperature, and things like that. When certain friction takes place, something happens. Wind blows, friction takes place, you feel cold and heat. It's because of the friction. Because of the temperature. Science, physical science, this is all everybody knows. I think I don't have to explain all this. Okay. So, my purpose of explaining this particular thing is only to tell you that if we call it as a Srishti, creation, who is a creator? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So creation itself is not the right word. But we have to use that word. For what? For what? Making the Sthula Avastha understand the Sukshma Avastha, the word creation has to be used so that the one who is thinking about the creation further will stop and look back. Who is a creator of this creation? And he looks back. It's a call for a person who is moving away without looking back. It's why the word creation has been created. So by using creation, the one who is moving fast forward without thinking in a disobedient path and way will stop to look back. It's a call, look back, by listening to the word of or understanding the word of creation is by the creation. So the moment the creation comes, he will think, who is a creator? How it has been created? From where it has been created? What is the cause of this creation? What will be the effect of this creation? And ultimately, why the creation? These questions have to be asked when the word creation has to be used. Is why the word creation has been used. Once I understand why all this, the word creation has no meaning at all. No. Is there any place for creation in that after understanding it? No place, absolutely. Where is gone? Gone into space, converging into the space. That's all. So Sanat Kumara said, hey Narada, Devrishi, meditate on space. So after the Vayu Tattva, he went into the Akasha Tattva we have already discussed, I think. So in Akasha Tattva, as usual, with great humility, Maharshi, Devrishi prayed at the feet of the Mahaguru, hey Bhagavan, according to you I have stopped. I am walking back with you. Tell me the next step, that's all. He is not asking, hey, like we all must be anxious now. When will this question of Narada end? Is what you are thinking, I know. How many more are there?
So sweet.
Devrishi is not fed up. Devrishi has never asked how many more are there. Nowhere so far. He only asked, hey Bhagavan, Is there anything more? If it is there, please tell me. The next one, that's all. Not how many are there. How long? Rishi Sanat Kumaraj. I am not used to walking so long. I am only used to flowing down. So walking now back is becoming difficult. So my legs are paining. So tell me, how many kilometers on the way will there be any dhaba to have a cup of tea? Maharishi did not ask that. He didn't ask that. What he said? With all humility and reverence, prayed at the feet of Sanat Kumara, not to be anxious about it, but to prepare himself to go with him. You told me to stop, I stopped. You told me to come back, I came back to you. Now I am walking with you. So give me, to gain that strength to walk with you, I want to prepare myself. So shall I walk with you further? Is what he is asking. Or what is instruction to me? Should I stop here? Should I walk? So what is the next step? So long. Hey Bhagwan, with humility. Devrishi is great. That's why he is Devrishi, not us. Devrishi with all humility. So many. Who is Devrishi? Highly knowledgeable person. He knows everything. Having known all these things, how humility, how reverent, humble he is towards Devrishi, Maharishi, Sanat Kumara. Hey Bhagwan, please tell me. He says yes. Okay. I'll tell you. How is Devrishi, Maharishi, Sanat Kumara also? For all his questions, he kept on answering. Step by step so that he doesn't trip, jumping to the next one. If one jumps, what are you doing? Suppose I said, this is the last step, you are supposed to reach there. What do? You jump, right? What do you mean by jumping? You are skipping away the details. If you are skipping away the details in between, will it be called as transcendence? It won't be called as transcendence. Transforming yourself into ascendance is that you without transforming. It's what? You without an intention, you have to ascend. Ascending in the sense, step by step ascending. That's called ascending. Otherwise jumping we can use. Why the word ascending? Going up. How the going up takes place, including the air, how it goes up? From here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. It's not from here to there. It has to be from molecule to molecule, molecule to molecule, molecule to molecule. It's called ascendance. Is why transcendence is possible only by ascending, transcending. Not by jumping, not by skipping. Is why Devrishi Sanat Kumara Bhagwan has to carefully take him. Sanat Kumara knows because he has come from there, he is standing there. He knows. He doesn't want Devrishi even to miss one step. So he says, if somebody has fallen into the well, somebody who is standing on top puts a rope down in the wells which is constructed, not the wells in Bihar where only hole is there and down there. So many children have fallen down and died and all that. tube well, this one. No, I'm not. I'm talking about a well. I'm not talking about a hole. A well, built well, what happens? It has got steps, like this, like this. In the well, how the steps are? One here, one there, then one here, one there, like that, So that one can hold this, put one step here, hold that, put the other step there. Is the reason why it is zigzag. The steps will be like that. We used to climb down, climb up and all that through that. Like the well. Now the one who has fallen down, he puts a rope and tells him, come up, and he says, put your first step on that. The second step, hold the other one, put your step on the second step. Hold this one and put your step on third. Like that he is taking. Same way, Upanishad tells us, hold means have faith where you are transcending, climbing up. If Narada or if somebody asks that, they will say, Maharshi, you are standing up and telling me, will I reach there? With all faith, humility, he has to put that step where he says, that's all. So you will go up. Hold it, hold it. Where to hold it? Hold where you are going to put your step next. And you will be at a point of time, you will be stepping on that where you are holding it. Then you hold it where you are going to put the next step. Principle of tattvas and Upanishadic tattvas are like that. Guru teaches you to hold on to one by one, step by step, with a lot of patience, courage and faith. Then a transcendence is possible. Don't go down. Always stand. Stop. Up. Stop. Up. Stop. So in every stage, the surrender, upasana and nididhyasana is necessary. It is never ending process. So Bhagavan said, there is something higher than space. So Bhagavan says, हे भूयो अस्ति इति तन्मे भगवान ब्रवीत्विति. Please instruct me. Not tell me. Or just instruct me. That's in that Hindi they say you sage, that what is it? Aapki agya sara ko par, something like that. No, is it right? Just give the agya, just give the order, just give the instruction. He followed, that's all. He is not telling, please tell me or please advise me, please this thing. No, there is no question of that. Guru's adhikara is to instruct. So the Maharshi, without any reluctance, he says that your instructions will be followed. That's all. Just instruct me, that's all. Is what he says. I like his every time the approach of the Maharishi's mention about Narada's approach to Devarshi Narada's approach to Maharishi Sanat Kumara. I really enjoy it with a lot of. When I say that, I really feel. I really enjoy that reading it. That's why probably you must have noticed every time I tell the same thing. At the end, I could have told that. Once again, Narada has requested. Oh, you will understand, I am very sure. Now I would like to feel myself of that humbleness and humility when I'm explaining this, I feel I am bowing my head at the feet of him and requesting him to tell me, instruct me, what should I do further. Is that feeling I want to bring it inside me is why I'm explaining all this. So I feel the same. As Devrishi feels, I feel the same. Please instruct me, what should I do next? So he said, Bhagavan said in 13th chapter 7, 13.1, Smaro vavakashad bhuyastasmadhyadyapi bahava asirna smarante naivate kanchana shrunuyornavanvirannam vijaniranyada vava te smare surata shrunuyuratha manvi sannatha vijani rasmarena vai putran vijanati smarena pashunamaro vasveti. Smaro vavakashat bhuyastasmadhyadyapi, greater than the akashat bhuyaha. Akashat is what? Is smara. Smara, smriti. What is smara and what is smriti? What is smara? Smriti is, in a small translation, smriti. Here also he says what is smriti. We don't find. He said also smara in particular term which has been interpreted. Here Bhagavan said is Haurti. He said in short it is memory. He said smara. Smarate, smarana, smaran, smriti. In normal language, in a common language, there is, you can understand it as is memory. But it's not actually, it's not memory. Why? Because, as I told you some time back, I think, when I was talking something else, memory means you have to have the brain means cells, from the cells something has to be produced and all that. There is a similarity with the memory, what we talk in the material science. There's a similarity with that. That's why smaraha is used for memory. Even in our normal language when we are using, smriti has been used as a memory. Smaran karo. We say that. Smaraha. Even in Sanskrit say that is smaraha. Smriti. Smarate. Such words are used, but actually what is smara is not just remembering something. What is memory? Memory is the one with an action you can remember. I don't know what is that membership which is known as remember. Which membership is that he is mentioning? I do not know that remember. From the memory to remember how he has derived, I do not know. So remember is not that what we are talking is. Smaraha. So Bhagavan here explains, Maharishi explains, smara is a peculiar term which has been interpreted as the power of consciousness which is recognized as self-existence. Beautiful it is. Not that smaran karo kal tumne kya khaya sham ko 5 baje. For that, Smaran is not necessary. For that, the membership is necessary, that's all. Remember, yesterday evening, which club you were the member while eating? 5 o'clock, which member? 6 o'clock, which member? Remember. Is remembering. It's not what he's telling. Smriti. What is Smriti? Smriti is that which is the consciousness which is recognized as the self-existence. Smriti. The Moola Rupa of yours. What is your Mool Rup? It's called self-existence. What is your Moola Rupa? To remember that, if I use the word remember again, to be a member of that. Remember that self-existence. The consciousness. There, the word remember is not there. That's why he has used it as the power of consciousness, which makes you recognize. That power of consciousness, it's not even consciousness. It is the power of consciousness which makes you recognize as the self-existence. The Swayam, from where the Swayam has come. Who is the Swayam? Who am I is the question. That's all. That's Smriti. So in fact, nobody has got the Smriti. And everybody has got the Smriti. And nobody has got the Smriti. Unless the Smriti has to be there, it is there. Only thing, that power of consciousness has to be evoked. When it is evoked, that power of consciousness will recognize who you are. The experience of the self, or the existence of the self. The experience of the existence of the self. Let me make it like that. Can be identified through tapasya, evoking that consciousness. Now we are talking about absolutely, what are we talking? The higher consciousness. In lower consciousness, it is not possible. Logically, any method you use, deriving this is not possible. The Smriti of identification or experiencing the self-existence is not possible. It has to be only through the higher consciousness. Aparajnanam, apara prakriti. Parajnanam, para prakriti. Parajnanam, aparajnanam, para prakriti, apara prakriti. Beyond the jnana, pare, beyond that jnana, beyond that memory, beyond that intelligence, beyond that mind, beyond. What is that? Consciousness. Which will only take you, that's called Smriti. So, what is Bhagavan explaining? Hey Narada, the objects what you are seeing, Akasha, Agni, Vayu, Jala, Prithvi, Annam, and the paraphernalia what associated with that, starting from the Namopasna, Vang, and all that, everything is associated with that identification of the recognition of self-existence, or experiencing the self-existence or the self-existence. Now you understand, I have given you enough background explanation how the telescopically from Sthulata to Sukshmata we are traveling. We are going into the capsule now all that whatever has been explained has been incorporated and drawn into where? The self-existence. If this from the self-existence you can see everything, you can experience everything. Otherwise, neither Akasha nor Agni nor Vayu nor Jala can be experienced. And being in the Agni and Jala and Vayu and Prithvi, you cannot experience the self-existence. But yes, it is possible, as I told you. As Adi Shankara said, being in the, as I have already again told you that is the Devata, when it is evoked, he can be projecting from the Sukshma to Sthula. In Sthula, projection of Sukshma is not there. Projection is that which comes from that. From Sthula, Sukshma cannot come. From Sukshma only Sthula can come. Because Sukshma contains everything. From that so many things can come. From Ekam to Anekam. In Anekam, Ekam is not there. Anekam has come from the Ekam. Anekam can converge into Ekam. Ekam can project Anekam. Anekam cannot project Ekam. That which has already been split into thousands of pieces cannot give an experience of one single piece of all put together. Is it possible? A mirror, when it falls down, shatters down. It will give a representation of the Ekam. Can it give an experience of the Ekam? No. Even if you join together, will it give an experience? No. Then there are joints. Addition to that, it's not possible. For that, what has to be done? The Anekam has to converge into Ekam. There's no other way. That which is already shattered, that means Thulata is what? Shattered. That's why I said, from there, you traveling back, you should know how to travel back. Unless that sthithaprajna is there, we will be coming to that. Tapasya is there, sthithaprajna is there. Unless that concept and you capability in the sense here, capability is not an efficiency. Here when I meant capability is that when that faith is there, the sthithaprajna automatically comes. The faith brings the sthithaprajna, and sthithaprajna will bring you to the capacity to stop. I said a common word I use, stop, is called samarpana bhava. When sthithaprajna, when faith is there, sthithaprajna is there, the capacity to stop will come. I should answer the call. See, I should, when I am walking, I have explained you just now, some time back, I should answer the call. Somebody is calling, let them call, I am not bothered, let me go, said. Can be done, you are free to do it. You are free to do it, no? But no. When they call you, you thought, see, your thinking itself has to start from there. You have to think, I must answer the call. When you think, I must answer the call, first you have to listen the call. See now that I'm giving you details now how you have to travel back. In meditation, these things have to be done. That's why I'm explaining so much of this. First you have to listen to the call. Bulawa. Log bolte hain. It's bulawa. It's not just calling out your name. Hey, stop. No. It's bulawa bolte hain. It's an auspicious thing. It's not just a call. So you should listen to that first of all. After listening, you should have the capability and humility to answer the call. That's the thought. Thought has to be there. Yes, I must answer the call. I must. There's no second opinion to that. No? I must answer the call. When I have, that's called the sthithaprajna. What is sthithaprajna? I must answer. The moment I must answer the call, when that thought of answering the call comes to you, the action of stopping automatically takes place. Right? The stopping need not be done by an action. No. What you have to do? A sthithaprajna to answer the call should be there. I must answer the call will make you stop your movement. That's all. Am I right? I don't stop, then I say I must listen to the call. No. What was the cause of making you stop? Your sthithaprajna. I must answer the call. So what was that? Faith. The call is true. Faith. The call is true is faith. Sthithaprajna, stability in your thought, is that or your firm conviction. I must answer. The moment you say I must answer, automatically your movements are controlled by the sthithaprajna. So there is no movement. What is stopping? No movement. This no movement can come only from faith and sthithaprajna. I've been repeating it 100 times now. The faith first, that the sthithaprajna, listening to the call. I must listen to the call. Then I decide I must answer the call. One is listening to the call. Next action is I must answer the call is sthithaprajna. When I say I must answer the call, whatever it may be, in the sense sthithaprajna, which arrests all your movements other than turning back, is called samarpana. Samarpana can come only with a sthithaprajna, with a vague mind of 1 foot on the boat, 1 foot on the land, and if I had another 2 feet, I could have used another 2 areas, is what we are thinking. For us, 2 feet is not necessary. We always say that. What is that? 2 feet on different boats, or whatever it is. Or 1 foot here and 1 foot there. Whatever term you use. But we have so many options. Now 2 feet is not enough. Like an animal, I want 4, so that I can use 4 places as an option, is what one is thinking. How can there be sthithaprajna? Smriti. If I don't do this, how can I get the Smriti? That consciousness we have to attain beyond the status of understanding and status, converging into the reality, converging into the sukshmata has to be there. So that faith and the sthithaprajna takes you towards the samarpana. After the samarpana, listening and deciding is upasana. Nididhyasana is traveling towards that and merging with that. Nididhyasana. Then comes transcending. When the transcending begins gradually, when the samarpana is done, when your so-called existence has been proved as false, because everything has started from the false, everything has been experiencing through the false, as I told you, because our thoughts are false, our actions are false. So the results were false. So what happens? The false has been proved. They are all false. When that proving of false has been proved, false have been proved, then the power of evoking the consciousness takes place. What is the power? How the power is generated here? Why am I explaining all these things? As I told you, each word is important. Unless I explain it, I am not satisfied. He used power of consciousness. What is this power? Have you ever thought? Why the word power of consciousness? For consciousness, why a power is required? If at all a power is required, what is that power? If that is the power of consciousness, is the power higher than the consciousness? Superior to consciousness, or consciousness superior to the power? Tell me. If I have to have a power for the consciousness, is consciousness superior or the power is superior? I know it is difficult. Tell me. You have to just tell something that's all. To prove. That's why it's not logically. It will be illogical when I explain you this. You will find that it's not at all logical. Logically, what should be the answer? Logically, what should be the answer? With an electricity, the engine starts. Which is important? Electricity. It's logic. Power. You understand that? Even though engine is big, makes all the functions do, who is responsible to driving force? We call it as a driving force. Logically speaking, the power is important. This is why Bhagavan said, lower consciousness cannot understand higher consciousness. The power he has used here is only to make you understand the source towards identification of consciousness. The power means not the power, what you are thinking, not a driving force. What is the source to make you see here? You should understand one thing very clearly now. It is, that's why I told you in preliminary, I spent about half an hour on that. How the steam produced and ice produced from the jalam. Who is responsible for it? Who is a creator? Is there a creation? Is there a creator and is there a created? Nothing, no. It just happens. This principle has to be there when we are talking about these things, because there are no one who is creating it. So if there is no one who is creating it, how can a power create consciousness? Then why the word power of consciousness has been used by Maharshi here? Swamiji has used the power of consciousness. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Only if you understand the meaning of power. If you understand the power is that electricity which drives the engine, logically you are right, so you stay where you are. Where? At the lower conscious level. If you want to travel towards the higher conscious level, what is this power of consciousness? Why did he use the power of consciousness? Is because, as I told you again previously, because of the faith, a sthithaprajna has been created. Sthithaprajna made you stop, even though it's an action, but its stopping has not been done, stopping has happened. Am I right? For by what? Because of sthithaprajna, stopping has happened. Not sthithaprajna stopped your movement. Now that usage of the word is incorrect. Even though it means the same logically. Am I right? Sthithaprajna, stopped your movement, can be understood by the lower consciousness. Because of sthithaprajna, the movement has come to a standstill. That means this has happened. Same way, because of the faith, because of the sthithaprajna, because of the upasana, because of the nididhyasana, because you have renounced your lower consciousness, the consciousness which is recognized as the self-existence has been created or has happened. So he is told the power of consciousness. Here the meaning power means the Shakti. What is that Shakti? Of recognizing the consciousness as the self-consciousness or self-existence is due to your identification of all other things are false. That identification of false is called the power. If that identification of everything else is not the truth, naiti, naiti, neti, neti. If that identification of neti has not been done, you would not have identified, recognized the consciousness of the self-existence. Right? So in order to identify the self-existence as the consciousness, or consciousness is recognized as the self-existence, which was the power, which was the driving force, which was the power that your faith and sthithaprajna in shorter form or in an elaborated form, identifying, starting from the namopasana to akasha, everything is converging slowly into the Sukshmata, and I am traveling beyond the lower consciousness to higher consciousness. That identification of understanding through my lower consciousness and logical comparative study and identification is no more going to prove the truth, because truth is not studied through a comparative statement, through a logical conclusion, but through an inference. Since none of them are truth, this is the truth is called today as an inference from that. That what you renounced, not that was not existing. It was existing. From Vang to Akasha, everything was existing as far as you are concerned, because you are projected from the Sukshmata. Only thing, they are all Sthulata, that's all. An identification that your sthithaprajna decided that you should answer the call. Yes. That means what? Your sthithaprajna decided that they all have to be renounced. Absolutely right. They all have to be renounced. When that sthithaprajna has come, all that have to be renounced, then your status will become standstill. The movements will become standstill. Once the movement becomes standstill, then your turning back, your movement, your turning back has happened. Then your travel towards the consciousness of experiencing the self-existence begin. Is why he used the word power of consciousness. So, who is greater? Power or consciousness? Consciousness is greater. There is no way you are thinking again. Why so much of reluctance? You have not understood. Or I did not explain it properly. It is the consciousness which is greater. It is the power only. Here the power means what? The power is not the driving force of the consciousness. Driving force to renounce. It's the power. In a ladder, you use the power for what? In climbing, where do you use the strength? One step here, one step here. You're climbing the step. Where do you use the power?
Legs. When you go up, step.
That's great. That's it. How do you go? How to go up?
The legs.
If you're firm on this, then you
Use the strength to one leg which is at the bottom, which is supposed to be renounced, not one to be attained, is it not? When you put the force on the renunciation, attainment happens. Is there any other way other than you just keep the feet on the next step? Is it not? Are you using strength? Where are you using all the strength? Only at the step at down below. So to climb up, simple. You know, see Upanishad. It has to be brought to this level. Then only one understands. You see. We use the power to renounce. So the consciousness has attained. When you use the power to renounce, all this converging takes place. The next step, just arams. Just keep the feet there. You are not using a strength to attain the top step. You are using technically speaking, you are using the strength to renounce the lower step, and standing on the next step happens. There is no way. Is it not? It just happens. Then the strength on the leg is necessary to carry your body, not for climbing. Right? So where is the strength used? What is the power? Now you understand. The power is required to renounce the lower step to attain the higher step. So, who is superior? The upper step, naturally, consciousness. Clear? Not clear. Climb the step and find out yourself. Then it will be clear. Okay. We will continue this. The same. What is this? 10, 7?
7:13.1.
7:13.1. We continue. Shanti.